hey, man, Hollywood's in trouble, John. Take you and your buddies, come out to L.A. and fix this shit.
What the fuck's going to happen?
Do they go, ew?
Or do they go, yeah?
Where do they go?
He is not a good-looking dude.
No, he looks like he should be made of stone and hanging off the edge of a building.
He's funny. You want to call it something? It's makeup sex for Star Wars, dude.
Exactly.
Stick around, 'cause I am coming back. And I know someday I'm gonna make it big.
Talk about shit we talk about anyway. Just sit here.
Seriously.
That's the plan. That's the dream. But anyway, all right, let's get to the show.
Did you see The Umbrella Academy?
I watched some of it. Brian finished it. She said she thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good.
I enjoyed it.
I know people that were disappointed with the ending, but the ending sets up season 2, and they're like,
Totally.
"Oh, is there going to be season 2?" I said, "Yeah, it's getting enough buzz. There's going
I'll
to be a
finish it
season 2."
this week.
Yeah.
I mean, I like a show that keeps me guessing, even though I kind of guessed that the one girl.
Spoiler.
Do you mind if I talk about this a little bit?
No, I don't give a fuck.
The one girl, I knew she kind of had some kind of powers, and I knew it probably was going to rival everybody else's.
Vanya.
Yeah, I knew she was, but I didn't know how her power was going to
Destroy.
I didn't want to go that far into it.
Destroy your thoughts and dreams.
Yeah, right. But then you also want to know what's the deal with these watchers, I guess you would say.
Yeah. The people that are sort of like these time travelers that is that who you're talking about?
Yeah. That they just watch, you know.
Yeah, they watch, but they also change the timeline
Are
too,
they like?
right?
Are they like almost like considered like angels of some sorts?
I don't know. I remember when the comic came out, because there was a ton of buzz at like the cons, especially because Gerard Way, who wrote the comic, is this famous rock star, right? And so he automatically had a fan base, and so
Built in.
So it just it's really well written, because I read the first two editions, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, and it got a lot of heat and got a lot of really positive feedback. But go ahead.
I was going to ask you, did you realize that the dad was not from Earth?
No.
It seemed like that to me. Because now, when they did a flashback him on the last episode, in the beginning, he was with the woman he loved, right?
Yeah.
She died, and then he grabbed this little crystal thing, the glass thing, with lights in it. And then he opened it up, then all you see are all these other spaceships flying out of the...
I didn't even notice that.
Flying up in the air.
Yeah.
I could be correct, but I thought I saw that. And that thing opened up, and it just seemed like... Then it flashed to him being on like a boat, like the Titanic type deal.
Yes, I do remember that.
So I think he like was from it, because it was always like the kids always wondered how he knew all the stuff he knew.
Yeah.
So I think he was. They haven't gotten to that point, but I think they hinted towards that. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that was like a glimpse into the future about like he was from somewhere else.
Yeah, well, he's definitely something. He's got something going on, because he was not as old as he should have been.
And did you notice they emphasized that violin that she kept using? That was from his mother.
That's right.
Was his wife from the other planet. I think it amplified her powers.
Yeah, dude. Now you're making me retrace my revisit this, and I'm like thinking there was a lot of.
Nick's
I might have to rewatch it.
Shit.
I am. I do. I go in, especially when I'm really into something. I like dive into it.
Yeah, man. Maybe I need
rewatch
to
that last episode, or at least the beginning part of that last episode, where he they talk about the dad when he was younger, and it seemed like he was like literally like 100 years younger.
Yeah. Definitely, he's definitely something going on with his age, because he's not as old as he should.
Yeah, because when he arrived in America, or I guess it was America, it was like horse and buggy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and then fast forward, he was, only looked like he was like 60 some years old, or maybe 70 when he died.
Yeah,
and he was like 30 when horse and buggy was going on. That doesn't equate.
Yeah, it's good, man. I mean, now it's. I'm glad you're digging it. Put it that way.
Yeah.
And I'm happy there's something else to watch.
Yeah. And when you get there, let me know if you pick up on that. I could be blowing it out of proportion, but that's what it seemed like to me that
I'll check her out.
Yeah. What episode you on?
One.
No, I don't even know. No, it's not even that. No, it is. It's one. It's like 3 or 4, something like that.
Yeah.
It gets good, man. It really just the whole time loop thing, and the only part I thought was really a little boring was the 2-0 team, the like Men in Black type group people.
Yeah.
I thought that was like, what the fuck is going on with these two? I get it. They're trying to renew the timeline, but they didn't need them as much.
I liked him a little bit more out of that the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think Mary J. Blige isn't like much. I think she's got a long way to go before she really becomes a full-fledged actor.
Oh yeah, I do like who they got playing their boss though.
Yes.
Apparently, she's somebody not to fuck with because he blew her the fuck up. And she was like patching herself back together. I was like, what the fuck?
And then he shot her. Sorry. We'll wait we'll revisit once you get caught up.
Yeah, once you get caught up. Because it's good. It's good.
All right. You guys ready?
Yeah, let's rock.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Nick, Jon, and Jamie Show. I'm John.
I'm Nick.
And I am Jamie.
We're all together.
3 weeks in a row.
3 weeks in a row.
Damn, I don't know how we pull this off with our fucking schedules.
Yeah, no shit. We got a little jammed up yesterday. Everything all right with you?
Yeah,
Jamie?
we're all good.
I almost got jammed up tonight. I was that close. Like, I'm showing my fingers, like pinching.
I do feel like we have to thread the needle most weeks.
Because I was like, Shannon was fine with it, and then I got home and I let her chill out for a little bit. And then right when I was getting ready to leave, we were doing dinner, and then both boys woke up screaming.
Oh,
and I'm like, damn, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's how it always works out.
Yeah, yesterday was odd. It was, no offense, but it would have been perfect for me because everything went smoothly.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, you guys have little kids, man. It is a roll of the dice every day, I'm sure.
No, it is. It is for both of us.
You know, God, I remember, like, my boys are 12 and 14, but I remember there were those days, and there's that window. It's a weird feeling. As you're just about a minute ready to get out the door, you're like, if someone pukes or someone knocks over a bowl of cereal or whatever might happen in those couple minutes, it jams you up.
Oh, yeah, fuck
you know, and it can jam you up and sort of push everything for the rest of the day.
And when you're dealing with that many little kids, it's like a domino effect. One falls and it's like, you're like, motherfucker. Yeah. Then you got the dog yelping and you're like, I just can't win here right now.
Yeah.
Then there's other times when there's like nothing going on. It's like.
Remember those old Calgon commercials? Calgon, Take Me Away?
No.
There was a Calgon commercial.
What year was this in?
This was in 1943. It was right before the advent of the television. No, but the Calgon commercial was always that same exact scenario. You see this, stereotypical housewife, and the phone's ringing, kids are screaming, and then they put all these images around her head going at the same time, and you're like, it's aggravating. No, it wasn't. It was bath soap is what it was, I think. And then she'd say, Calgon, take me away. And then it would all go away and she'd be soaking in this soothing bath.
I will say this. I'll give a nod to women in this sense. I think for most, they handle it much better than we do.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I can handle it, but Shannon gets more time with the three of them all the time than I do. And, I mean, she gets stressed, but she handles it. Like, she plays games with Taylor and stuff like that. I never get time to do that. I'm like, all right, one baby's here, one baby there, Taylor's there. I just need to sit here for a second. But then no, she gets shit done. I'm like, how the fuck do you do that?
When's it bedtime?
Yeah, right. Aren't you old enough to go to sleep by yourself? Drive a car or something? Get away from me,
dude. That's 2 years from. Well,
1 year for me, but he's not on the path to do that. He got a lot of proving to do.
Yeah, you think you had gray hair now? Wait till they get behind the wheel of a car.
That's why I married a hairstylist, dude. I don't. She's a little late on my hair, though.
That's all right. I'd rather have gray than go bald. That's for sure. So this week, there's a lot going on. This week was kind of fucked up. Did you notice that there's a lot of famous deaths this week?
Who else died? Obviously, Luke Perry died.
Yeah.
But who else died?
So Luke Perry died, 52.
Yeah, which
stroke.
that was out of nowhere. Let's be honest.
It was. He had like a massive stroke.
Because
like,
that's
last
why.
week.
Totally.
That's why it's not like some older guy died.
You almost wonder there
Yeah,
had to be some complications, right?
Yeah, we had something
Stroke will
going
fuck
on,
you up.
and he looked like he was in good shape because Brian watches at Riverdale, so I saw
That's
him
right.
on there a couple
Maybe
times.
he just had like a blood clot that just.
And
Strokes are
I
weird.
watched 90210 when I was a kid.
So did I.
I did.
Yeah,
I think everybody did.
I didn't.
You didn't?
I'm a man.
Yeah.
No,
Fuck
it's
you.
not. It has not.
I have three older sisters,
Nick,
dude.
Nick, let's face the
television.
fact. Let's face the facts. So it's not because he's a man. It's because he was like in his 30s by then,
Yeah.
right? So it's like
I got news for you. They were obviously those high school kids were older than I was.
I know.
I
but
know,
I'm
right?
just-
Yeah, right.
I'm just
They were in their 30s when they were shooting.
I'm
that
just
shit.
saying you couldn't relate because
Who was the one? Who was the
material
one with the
is just
glasses? She was like,
unrelatable.
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
like 34. The one with the
Oh yeah,
glasses.
she looked like somebody's mother
Yeah.
in high
Yeah.
school. Yeah, but that show was phenomenal.
I watched the first couple seasons. I liked it, man. The first
I-
couple seasons. Then it got a little fucking hinky.
Well, it was the Aaron Spelling thing, man. He did those nighttime soap operas,
Oh,
and that's
yeah.
essentially. And he struck gold with that shit.
Look at that Melrose Place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was an offshoot from
Melrose
Yeah.
Place is just straight up sex. It was
Oh,
just
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
They
Well,
were-
Melrose
who's
Place
fucking
was.
who?
Heather Locklear came in a equation, and it's just like everybody was fucking everybody.
Yeah, well, Melrose Place it was kind of like what they did with. First you had the Breakfast Club, and then you had St. Elmo's Fire.
Which
right?
I've never seen.
St. Elmo's Fire.
I've seen Breakfast Club 100 times, but
Yeah.
I've never seen St. Elmo's.
It's decent, but it's like the stages of their lives. It's like Breakfast Club is high school,
Yeah.
and St. Elmo's Fire is right after college.
Are they the
So-
same characters?
No.
Oh.
But I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
that's
I know.
kind of like Melrose Place versus 90210.
Yeah.
Melrose Place was a little older. By the way, I've never seen any of these shows.
But you know what?
None of
You
them.
know what?
Again,
but it was
that's
but you know what?
unrelatable.
But you know what? It was a smart move
I've
by
seen them.
by Spelling to do what he did because you had these fans, these dedicated, mainly women, but some guys like me and Jamie that were dedicated to 90210, and then as they got older, he just went from being young to college. So we'll just grow with them.
Yeah.
Keep that fan base going.
Totally.
And it was a genius
Like
back
Harry
then.
Potter.
dude. Well, fucking back
Hell
then.
yeah.
if you think about the television back then it was like Corky, whatever that show is called. You
Oh,
watch
yeah.
that, and then it's
something
like,
Life or something.
yeah, and like it would get you all depressed, and you're like, oh, all right, here's some hot pussy. All right, you know what I mean? Like
That was when
something
Baywatch was
cheer you
happening
up.
too, right?
Yeah, Baywatch,
Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the
Saved by
Bell.
the Bell.
Man, I was a Kelly guy. Oh, hell yeah.
Kelly Slater guy?
Kelly Slater.
Isn't that his name? No. Oh, no. Kelly Slater's the.
I like how he pretends like he doesn't know.
No,
That's
Kelly
pretty good.
Slater's
Dude.
the surfer.
Yeah, you're a man, dude.
I was
You're a man.
after the girl Kelly.
It was Casey.
Oh, I thought
Wasn't
you were
it
talking
Casey
about your
Slater?
experimental.
AC Slater.
Casey Slater. That's
Casey's.
right.
Then you had Zach Morris. He had the first cell phone. Remember that big fucking thing?
Well, I knew you were. I didn't know if you were finding yourself then, Nick.
Yeah. I still am trying to find myself, dude.
4 kids later.
Yeah.
So Luke Perry died. Oh, someone, a friend of Cindy's, texted her or posted on Facebook, said, please reach out to any of your friends that are 35 to 50 when Luke Perry died, because they're probably heartbroken and beside themselves.
Like I said, it's shocking because he didn't expect it.
Yeah,
you know?
totally.
That's why it was.
They were talking about on Preston and Steve today, and they were saying how because they actually had him on a bunch of times on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he called in and they talked to him. They said he was a really genuine guy, just straight. Wasn't one of those actors that were like dicks.
Didn't go
He
Hollywood.
looked like he was in good shape too,
Yeah.
like decent shape. So
I watched a show called, was it Jeremiah or something like that?
Oh, that's right.
He did. It was like an end of the world type show.
Yeah.
I watched a couple seasons of that back. It was good. It was the guy, him and the guy from the Cosby Show, the oldest son. Mm-hmm. He got, did a show. It was really cool. It was a kind of like
Theo.
Theo.
Yeah,
They
Theo.
never explained what happened at the end of the world, but it was like, all these little tribes and, he would bounce around trying to help people. It was cool.
That's a sci-fi baby. That wasn't. I remember when I thought.
That was actually on Showtime, I think.
No, I mean it's science fiction.
Yeah, okay.
But I do remember when surprised when I saw him outside of 90210 when he did little bit part in Fifth Element.
Well, he was in Fifth Element?
Yeah, in the beginning when they're doing they're in the tomb, and he's the assistant.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's right.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. Dude.
He's the one that kind of triggered everything because
did you know he's
shot the guy.
you know he's in a movie Once Upon a Time in not Mexico. It's coming up this summer.
The Quentin Tarantino movie.
No, he's in a new one. Quentin Tarantino is doing this summer.
Yeah, that's the one.
Once Upon a Time
in Hollywood.
In Hollywood, he's in it.
Oh no shit.
He's in it coming up. Yep. They were. I learned that on press.
That made me a little bit more sad.
You know, especially for the kids. I mean, his kids are 18, 19 years old, and you got a movie. Their dad just dies, and then you're in like 4 months, you're going to see him on TV.
Oh, that's heartbreaking, man.
You know, so.
Well,
yeah, it was young, essentially. I mean, it wasn't young, but
52 is young now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Average lifespan is 80 years old.
Yeah.
You don't expect it.
No, that
catches everybody off guard.
So the other deaths were Katherine Helmond.
Who the hell's that?
Mona from Who's the Boss.
Oh yeah, well that's expected.
That's expected.
I mean, what was she? 90?
Yeah, she was 92. She died.
Tell me you didn't think she was already dead.
I did, dude. I was just gonna bring
that. I was thinking that. I was like, wasn't she? Didn't she die a couple of years ago?
Dude, the first time
I loved Mona though. She was awesome.
Yeah, she was great, Mona. But she was also in Soap. Do you guys remember Soap from back in?
Did they shoot the movie?
No, it was this television series from the late 70s called Soap.
But they did a movie called Soap for Kevin Kline and
that was Soap Dish, right?
Oh yeah, it was Soap Dish. Yeah. I was thinking something.
But it was you're the same premise, right? It's a
Sally Field was in that. Yeah.
This is again proved my point that you didn't watch 90210.
No,
not because you're a man.
No,
just because
I aged out.
Yeah,
for sure.
Fact.
But yeah, if it was 1990, I would have been 19 years old when it came out.
What?
18, 19 years old.
Plus 10. But that's okay.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, there was more of me and Jamie's age group.
Yeah. So you guys would have been what? 12?
Yeah, something like that, dude. We're a lot younger than you.
Just starting to feel the juices flowing.
I do not want to go to the board, Mrs. Smith.
I was picking up magazines on the side of the road. Straight jizzing.
Dude, if we get a merch table, that's going to be one of the t-shirts.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's going to be legit and straight jizzing. So she died, and you're right. I did think she was dead already.
So did I.
Yeah.
But
I didn't even know who she was until you said her name.
Like the one lady from Golden Girls. Like she lasted a fucking long
the
time.
mom.
Yeah.
The mom. Yeah.
Oh, Estelle Getty.
Yeah. And you're like, holy shit.
She actually was younger than...
She was younger than everybody on the cast.
Yes. But they made her look so much older. It was really well done. Yeah.
Betty White's the only one left.
Dude, that woman just... She's in every fucking thing. Like, what was she in, like 20 Snickers commercials?
I think she's getting whatever Tom Cruise is getting.
And Paul Rudd now?
Yes,
he's getting
it's like
the juices too.
That's right. It's like Death. Remember that movie Death Becomes Her?
Yes.
Yeah, with Bruce
Wilson. Who are the women?
Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn and somebody else.
Yeah, we'll remember that.
It's a bad movie.
It was pretty bad, but they had that serum that made them.
Yeah, but then if they got shot, they would have a hole. It was fucking weird.
Yeah, break her neck. Ugh. Anyway, so I'm just gonna. So the other person that died, there was a couple of people. There was the comedian Brody Stevens, who was a big fixture at the Comedy Store. Not real, did a ton of things, and only because I listened to these comedy podcasts that I knew who he was. But he died at 48, and then the dude, the lead singer from Prodigy, Keith Flint, he died as well. Both of those guys died of suicide. And this all happened in this past couple days. But the one that I was really surprised about, not surprised, you got Luke Perry, who dies unexpectedly at 52. You got Mona or Katherine Helmond, who dies at 92 from Alzheimer's. You're like, oh yeah, okay, not a big surprise there.
Good run.
But then, you guys remember WWF?
Oh, I heard.
King Kong Bundy?
Yes, he died. He actually was, his name was something else.
Christopher Allen Pallies.
Yeah, he lived in Jersey, too, your alma mater.
Yeah.
Dude, he lived in South Jersey, man.
Something like
that.
Died.
That's where he died, in Glassboro.
Yeah, so my buddy, I remember King Kong Bundy from the old school WWF and WWE, but he my buddy was taking tickets. And God damn it, Jamie, you're gonna bust my balls about this.
How old he is?
Taking tickets and ripping the tickets in half. And then giving the ticket back.
So you were at WrestleMania. You were at WrestleMania too, right? Maybe one too, right?
Dude, I never got. I listened
the first Royal Rumble.
John's up there holding the sign.
I was the king, baby. No, but
he was 20.
The tickets were a lot smaller than even the tickets that you get today.
Well, I remember them ripping tickets,
but
just like in general, they did it for sporting events.
They were a little bigger than like the raffle tickets.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so my buddy, he's just absentmindedly taking tickets as people are walking in, and this catcher's mitt of a hand is holding what is it's a normal ticket, but it looks like a postage stamp in his hand. And he looks up and it's King Kong Bundy. And he's like, holy shit. And of course he gets an autograph, gets a picture and all that stuff. Or I don't think he got a picture because that was before film was invented. But he rips it and he said he couldn't have been a nicer guy. Just sweetheart.
Are you talking about like big hands? Do you ever see the picture of the mountain and his girlfriend?
No.
Like, there's a picture of the mountain and his girlfriend. She's holding a regular coffee cup and he's holding a regular coffee cup.
Now,
it looks like a baby cup.
You know where my mind's going right now, right?
I know where you're going.
Where my mind's going.
What's going on in the
fingering? like
what if his dick?
Like I'm not even thinking about the dick part. Like you're like, so you're working.
Those sausages going.
Well, yeah, you're working into it, right?
Well, he has to, man. His probably shit is, as my doctor would say, big.
A fetus arm holding an apple.
But he's the runt of the litter. His brothers are bigger than he is.
No, we're bigger. Now he's bigger.
Oh, is he?
He's the strongest man in the world.
But I thought he was taller. I mean, no, not that. I thought his brothers were taller than
They might be taller, but he's bigger.
Yeah.
Like bigger. And you really got to look up these pictures. It's hilarious to see. And his girlfriend is like 5'5".
No shit.
It's like hilarious.
Yeah. So a lot of deaths this week, and it's like makes you kind of count your blessings, you know. But let's turn this podcast around. Let's get out of the.
I mean, damn.
Let's turn this frown upside down.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Dude.
Trailer. I want to go right in the trailer.
Oh, we're not going to do box office. Let's do box office later. I want to go into trailers.
Yeah.
I'm in on this.
Let's do box office later. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just shortcut the box office and say How to Train Your Dragon led the box office this week. Tyler Perry's Medea came in too. Dude, it came out swinging.
I know that dude.
What was it, $8 million?
And it's probably all pocket money for him because he plays every character in the fucking script.
It was like $8 million to make the fucking movie, I think.
I can hate on it for I don't like it, but damn, good.
He's got a formula.
Yeah, dude,
he says it's the last one.
Bullshit.
Dude. That's what he said.
Bullshit. He's going to clear like fucking $80 million.
I would smack him in the back of the head and say, "Don't do that," and do another one.
Keep going, man.
Yeah, keep going.
People are going to come see your
Strike while the iron is hot.
People are going to come see your shitty movies and keep doing the shitty movies.
They are what they are, man. They're just a fun.
And it has a demographic that they love the movies. It's like Jay and Silent Bob. They're going to do a second one.
Exactly.
I'm going to be a fucking asshole and I'm going to go see that thing.
Great.
It's probably going to suck.
Man. Yeah.
Jay and Silent Bob
Great comparison.
Awesome.
The first one was awesome. But it's just like, the other...
the horse is getting beat again.
Yeah. Well, it's like Clerks.
That's what I was going. I was thinking of Clerks.
Yeah.
The first one was unbelievable. Then they...
He's been in the business for
I'll do anything to see Rosario
years.
Dawson, though.
Yeah, that's
man,
true.
she's smoking. But real quick, and then we'll move on. Alita Battle Angels moved to the third spot in the box office. Lego Movie, fourth spot. And that's only been out it's been out for 4 weeks.
Still holding.
And then Fighting With My Family, that wrestling movie with The Rock.
They got really good fan reviews and critic reviews, that movie.
Yeah, and that's hitting the fifth spot.
Yeah.
So that's our shortcut of or abbreviated version of the box office.
All right, let's get to trailers. Fuck
Let's
that
move.
shit.
All right.
Yeah, let's talk about the G spot, son.
Yeah. That shit was awesome.
So a lot of trailers came out this week. A lot of trailers that we, in particular, Nick, Jon, and Jamie show, I think are interested in. The first one that I came across was the new Shazam trailer.
I didn't see it.
So it's.
I'm not hyped up about this movie.
Which is essentially the original Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. So, I wonder how that finally went down as far as like the rights to that name.
I think it was because obviously Marvel came about, and then they just like gave it up.
That was like 30. That was like 30 years ago. They figured that out, right?
Yeah, I don't think. I'm sure there wasn't as much stakes on the table as there is.
Yeah,
today.
I don't think.
If it was today, I mean,
they probably would have fuck you.
It'd be like a big
give me
deal.
that money.
Yeah. Bust out the terrifying lure.
Well, you already know what Disney forked over for fucking Fox.
Yeah. Could you imagine their legal team, Disney's legal team? It's got to run fear through the hearts of Hollywood.
Oh, right now.
You know what I mean?
Well, Netflix is scared shitless of this Disney Plus coming out, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I said, dude. They need to gear up. That's all they need to do. If they gear up, they'll be all right.
Well, they keep releasing things like Umbrella Academy,
but they'll
be fine. But they need I know where you're going. They need some big
gear up.
Yeah,
gear up.
They need to buy out DC, and then Apple needs to buy out fucking Netflix, and then they'll be able to.
Yeah, they need some sort of. You need some sort of like conglomerate of some sort, and then.
Well, that can be tricky, man, because you want competition, right?
I do want competition, but how many pieces of competition do you want?
You want people to compete with Disney?
No,
well, you already got Amazon. They're going to compete with Disney.
Yeah,
big enough.
I want
He's
a couple. I'm sick of the okay. So you got the Amazon, you got the Disney, and then you have Netflix, right? I don't want this other fucking bullshit like CBS jerk off shit, fucking whatever the fuck else comes out next jerk off shit.
Although,
just lump into one of those assholes because that's the reason people don't want cable anymore. You know what I mean?
They don't want to keep paying all these bills. So you're saying to get rid of it's going the way it's going. I'm going to have to pay for every fucking channel.
Then
now.
What's the point?
Yeah, you're going to have to.
Then what's the point?
Yeah.
So you need to still have some competition, but you don't need that much competition. It becomes a point like CBS. Like, really? Come on. Like DC? Really?
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Come on.
Eventually, it's just going to turn into an alternative cable bill because they're all going to branch together. Some genius is going to come together and make a deal with all these streaming services and say, "How about I make a bundle deal for people?" And it's another cable.
But if I was like a DC or a CBS and I had some decent material,
like Star Trek,
exactly,
dangle that out there.
I'd be like, all right, let's strike while the iron's hot. This is kind of a dumb idea.
No, I hear you.
And that's where Netflix should have went into CBS or whoever owns the rights to Star Trek and say, dude, Disney's already pulling out. We're losing all that shit.
Yeah.
They already have Star Wars. We're losing that shit too. So we need to grab something. Why don't we go into talks with DC and CBS about Star Trek? They're gaining something.
Yeah, that's what.
But they didn't do that.
Yeah,
Star Trek's a killer property.
Well, Ted needs to adapt, dude. He's going to have to start adapting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, obviously people are catching on.
Yeah.
Right? And you're going to have to start making some... You're going to have to start making some money moves.
Dude, next generation...
You are.
I hear you, man. Next generation is still one of the higher... It's higher on the food chain as far as downloads or watches in Netflix. That show is what? 20 years old?
I do.
Yeah.
And
so
the last couple
the
seasons,
property is valuable to the point, to the CBS point with Discovery.
Sure.
Right? If they, why not add that to the cachet? They're already, it's tricky because here's the thing. I was just looking.
They're going to lose.
Well, they are going to lose.
Eventually they'll sell it out anyway.
That's my point. Yeah. It's an uphill battle. Dude, be smart.
Yeah.
Join the club.
Yeah.
Here's the
Outsource that shit.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's what I'm saying.
When Disney when Disney finally comes out, nobody's even going to think about that.
Ooh, you want to hear something?
I want to hear.
Rumor mill. There's a comic book series called Avengers versus the X-Men. And the rumor is that that's going to be part of the next phase when they incorporate
There's
the
probably
X-Men.
more phase 5 then.
Well, yeah, phase 5.
Because phase 4 is going to take probably...
Phase 4 is going to be Doctor Strange 2, Black Panther 2.
So if they're going to do that, then what they're probably going to do is launch X-Men in their own universe and keep going with the Avengers and then eventually trickle them together in one big...
Exactly.
I remember that.
That's exactly what the article I read, Nick, said exactly
that sounds like a
that.
great idea.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to interlock it too much early. Because you don't want to just introduce them okay, well, Scarlet Witch's dad is Magneto. You just
or
don't want
Wonder Woman just shows up at the party with Batman and Superman.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember the verses. I remember the scuffles they would have, but I never remembered the verses.
There was a run.
I remember the when they would work together.
Oh yeah, there was always guest spots and people.
Yeah, I remember
Spider-Man came in.
Yep.
Well, I remember like the Spider-Man X-Men thing. That was like the biggest one. Is where they would always they would butt heads, but they would
because
still.
Logan and Peter Parker, Spider-Man would go back and forth all the time.
Dude, I was never so thrilled than when I saw on Spider-Man and Their Amazing Friends watching the X-Men do a guest appearance.
Yeah.
I was like, because they were never. This is in the early 80s. They were never mainstream enough, not as mainstream as Spider-Man and Superman and Batman and everything. And then to see them come in, it was like my dream came true.
So I don't know.
Yeah, well, there's YouTube now.
Yeah, I remember that. Like
Just
when
kidding.
Spider-Man's sitting outside of their window and shit. I do remember that.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah. It was
Avengers
cool.
vs. X-Men is a 2012 crossover event that was featured in comic books published by Marvel Comics. So they have the source material that they can lean off of.
It's just how do you introduce the X-Men? Because it's been done. How do you do it in a tasteful way where you're not just because like all the reviews.
That's an interesting concept, though.
What?
Like doing it like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to do it. But all the reviews I heard on the Dark Phoenix, it's kind of like the Last Stand type deal.
Yeah.
And it's because I don't want to get into all that, but
Dark Phoenix.
There's a Dark Phoenix trailer that came out too.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. It looked good,
Yeah.
but the early reviews people are saying it's a lot like The Last Stand.
Yeah, it's disappointing in the fact that was like one of the best fucking comic runs, dude.
Well, it's because they're not holding true to the comics. Because they didn't introduce the how she became the Phoenix Force. She wasn't just the Phoenix Force her whole life. It entered her body, right?
No, she was.
It was a part of her.
Yeah, it was part of her from the beginning, from what I remember.
And
right?
her mother.
Well, no,
her mother was a phoenix.
Well, that came in later. Like when it was first introduced in the 70s and early 80s, it was part of her power.
Well, I mean, all right. Then the cartoon went different then because I watched Saturday morning cartoons as you did, Jamie, and they introduced it as the Phoenix Force comes. And
it was kind of like the Green Lantern Corps, somewhat, except for the fact that
it only comes to fight this one
it was like
super villain.
Yeah, and they were handed down.
Yeah,
it was like a handed down.
Every thousands of years, this one evil entity comes into being, and the Phoenix Force comes and takes over a person or a being to help fight off this evil. I forget what the entity was.
Well, I mean, in the comics, they did treat it like almost like a split personality. It was like she transformed. I can't remember exactly whether they called it out specifically as the Phoenix Force. I don't remember that. My memory is saying that they didn't in the early runs, but then because it was such a fucking massive hit, that comic was like an atom bomb as far as like people reacting to it. And because it was such a hit, they had to keep that juice flowing, man.
And I get that, but I mean,
She was dead. But nobody dies in comics. But
I get that. But the last movie they made, and obviously this one, I don't think they're going to do it justice because it's just, well, let's face it, anything that's not Disney Marvel, usually, like they even talked about in the preview for Captain Marvel. I read a preview today. It said it hits all the beats that Disney does. I mean, it has the storyline of the hero, the hero arc, the person finding themselves. And it works, and it does well. They have a formula, and it goes beyond what anybody can imagine because it's just every movie has the same formulaic, just in different versions. And this is no different. But it seems like anybody that's not in the Marvel Disney universe cannot figure it out. Like,
I see what you're saying. So
to appeal to everyday audiences today. Is what I'm saying is like
I think it's the story though. Like it
has to be about the story.
Yeah, it has to be about the story. Like that's where like DC fucks up.
But that's what I mean though. There's a formulaic way to do things.
Yeah,
that
for sure.
That Disney Marvel does perfectly. This is what this article was saying about
for sure.
About almost every movie they've released has not been below 70 on a Rotten Tomatoes meter and fan, and that's crazy. Out of all these movies, there's not been one below that, and every other one, there's majority of them are above 80. So there's a formula where it just works. You know what I mean? But then DC comes along, or
that's why
Fox, and they just their shit just sucks because they just don't follow the right formula.
My mind was boggled though when they fucking came out with Wonder Woman, and I'm like, man, the story was so good on that. How the fuck did you mess up the other ones?
Well, it almost wasn't. Like, again, the director had to fight for that opening scene.
Yeah, and that's
the
just
opening
like,
where she was from. And if you take the where she was from out of that movie, it doesn't make a good movie.
Falls flat.
Yeah, I
It falls
guess you're
flat
right.
because you need somewhat of a backstory to tell us where she came from.
Yeah. I'm hoping that Wonder Woman 1984 just keeps going.
And that stupid Flash kid, Ezra,
Yeah, Ezra
he's
Miller.
fucking talking about how the Flash movie is going to bring everything together. I'm like, you should not be fucking Flash. You're a weirdo.
But the Flash in the comics, the Flash was like a big thing with fucking DC.
Yeah. Well, no, I know he is, but I can't stand the guy
With,
they
like
got.
the Flash Force and shit. That was like a big ordeal.
Yeah. No, well, a Flashpoint Paradox, the DC comic or cartoon, the animated feature, was awesome. That if they do that storyline, Flashpoint Paradox, I think that's a Jeff Johns run. But if they do that, that makes sense for him to make that comment because it's centered around Barry Allen, the Flash, and it talks about how it's this dystopian future where all the more powerful members of the Justice League are at odds with one another. And the world is going through an upheaval.
Maybe that, if they do that, maybe that will make sense why he did Batman versus Superman. He jumped back to say, because that scene still makes no fucking sense to me. You know what I mean?
They chopped the shit out of that movie. There was I don't know, that movie, you hear a lot of different stories, but a lot of it seems like it was just straight up disorganized.
Yeah, and now they're getting rid of the Batman. They're getting rid of the Superman.
Yeah,
I mean,
Affleck's out for sure. Like he legit said, "I'm done." He was on Kimmel, I think.
I forget why he said the reason why too.
He said he just couldn't make it work in his mind as far as the
way they wanted to go and the way he wanted to go with it. He was more Frank Miller's, and they wanted to go some other version of Batman.
Yeah, and that's Warner Brothers too, man. Warner Brothers shits the bed when it comes to that. I think they
the wrong people
managed by committee.
Yeah,
you know?
And that's what it is. They manage by committee instead of giving somebody the ultimate power and say like Feige.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, somebody that you're right. But
that's
like,
a fan of comics too, just not an executive.
Let's be honest.
To make money.
Let's be honest too, though. Feige is like a diamond in the rough.
He is a rare.
You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
that's the same thing that's going on with Star Wars right now.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Catherine Kennedy is not, she might be like, say she's a fan, but she's just fucking producer.
But in the same regard, they should have known when to fucking stop. They should have, they should not necessarily stop, but hey, let's pull the reins back.
You talking about with Star Wars?
Star Wars. Maybe we should need to rethink some things. I don't want to jump down this well, but my point is
that's what they're doing now, they say.
Now, too little, too late.
Could be. Well, we'll see.
We'll see what 9 does,
dude. Let's
not jump down this well. We got plenty of other material.
We have to. We have to see all of us see that together.
Oh yeah,
because we have to be like our own support system.
I need Jamie to walk me off the edge, walk me back from saying how great it is.
I can't wait for that moment when we walk out of that and we're in the lobby and we all look at each other. And we either go, "Man, that was awesome," or we go, "Pause." It wasn't good, was it, guys?
No, you didn't get the same feelings when you walked out of fucking Avengers.
Oh, no.
No, I was...
Even Black Panther. When I walked out of Black Panther,
man,
I was like...
stoked.
Because I didn't expect that.
No.
And I was like, fuck. I was like, that got me good, dude. And then... Star Wars, you're like thinking about all those
when
things.
When you gotta think about a movie, really, you
think about the good points.
That's what happened. That's when I realized you really got to think about a movie to make yourself believe it's good. It's not good.
Yeah, I know. You shouldn't have to talk yourself into a movie. Yeah, a buddy of mine, the guy I work with, I've known him for I don't know 7-8 years now. He's grew up in Africa. I want to say Senegal, right? I'm trying to think of the location of Africa. Grew up in Africa. Came out of Black Panther and was like, that movie sucked.
Yeah.
It's like, no, dude, you missed the point. He's like, no, I didn't. Because he was thinking, he came from a totally different perspective.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, I'm African. He's like, I'm African. I know what Africa is like. And he's like, yeah, I don't know. I was like, dude, you got to suspend disbelief. This is like a pretend type thing. He's like, no.
Yeah, he's more real.
Yeah.
He needs to see the real.
Like, it's not Hotel Rwanda, man.
All right, so what other trailer?
All right, sorry. Let's
get back on track.
Hellboy, the reboot of Hellboy came out, or the latest trailer.
I don't like it.
It doesn't look great.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Dude,
I love this franchise.
Well, like
too.
Perlman was a good fucking Hellboy.
Amazing.
Dude, he's awesome.
Yeah.
He's a really good Hellboy.
Dude, there's something going on. And I mentioned this when the first trailer came out before, which was the prosthetics look like they're getting in the way of David Harbour being able to speak and emote and act. Ron Perlman, covered in latex and all that stuff, still sold that emotion.
Yeah,
I love the first Hellboy.
It was amazing.
The movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Second one was okay, but that first one was
Yeah,
really
the
good.
story was a little lacking in the second
Yeah.
one. That was a problem.
Got a little corny.
Yeah, but like, he was a good fucking Hellboy.
He
dude.
was,
Yes.
man. He, you know what? Even in Blade 2, he was good, man.
Yes.
I loved his
Dude,
like.
Sons of Anarchy. He was. The best.
he was
that was
awesome.
by far his best
He
work.
plays a great like an SOB. He plays
Yeah.
a great SOB.
Yeah.
It's another
Son of
one
a
with a
bitch.
great delivery, great voice.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Like when he turns around and sort of slows his roll a little bit, and it's like it's coming. Like
Yeah,
he's
it's good.
going to deliver something that's going to be badass.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
not so much looking forward to it. The CG looks terrible. Like it looks like a really like the last Ghostbusters movie. I think had
No,
better CG.
what vein of comics? What vein of comics does Hellboy fall in?
He's in Dark Horse.
Like it's not DC or Marvel.
No, it's Dark Horse, and it's so yeah, it's not DC or Marvel.
trying
So
to figure it out.
and Mike Mignola, who started Dark Horse, he's the guy I met at the Society of Illustrators up in New York when we went to New York.
Yeah, cool.
That dude's a mad genius, man. The characters that he's created and his artwork is just phenomenal. So I was really stoked when that first one came out, and I was really happy after the fact too. But this one, not so much. So moving on to X-Men Dark Phoenix, a new trailer came out. It starts with Jean Grey, Sophie Turner, sort of doing this voiceover. She's in the rain and in the cold, and then it starts to transition over to the X-Men sort of confronting her, like after she's done after she's starting to tip over the edge. And then Mystique is talking to her, and she basically lashes out at Mystique and sends her flying. I'm not sure if they're trying to sell that she kills Mystique, because there's another scene where the guy who plays Beast is standing over a grave, like there was just a funeral. And then there's the conflict between Xavier and Magneto. That's like ongoing thing.
Well, that's always been the ongoing thing throughout X-Men. Their friendship, but they're at odds with what they believe.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, it's like I don't have high hopes for this movie.
I love all the actors and actresses in it. It's a phenomenal cast, but we just talked about it. They're patchworking shit together, and they threw this shit together as fast as they could because the fucking
I'll
merger.
put up with it though.
Oh yeah, because
I'll check it out. I won't go opening night. I'll probably wait it.
That one I
Think
watched.
you'll go to the theater?
Maybe if I start seeing the fans really digging it, at least 70%, I'll probably go.
I love
but if
X-Men.
Me too.
I do. But
I guess so.
I mean, I'd have to be like.
Yeah, I'm not really stoked.
Listen,
to go see
I
it.
never got.
know why I'm not stoked to go see it, and this might be part of the problem, is because I know there's a better version coming.
Oh,
Yes.
well, that's a fact. But like, even with like it wasn't as good as I thought it would be, kind of thing with the whole X-Men in general. Mm-hmm. I still never got like sour grapes from it. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't get
X3.
it wasn't. Listen,
X2 I didn't like.
yeah, that's fine.
I liked X2,
but
though.
I never got
A little
like.
better.
I wasn't like, nah. I wasn't like gagging. I wasn't like, well.
Well, what were the expectations going in when you saw the movies?
Well, when I saw the other ones, I was like, well.
Yeah.
I mean, the only one that I felt that was really good was Logan.
Yeah.
Nah,
That was done right.
I
Yeah.
think they could have done way better job. Which one was the one where they were in the future?
Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I did like that one. I forgot about that.
That was good.
That was really good.
I think
First Class was good, too.
They could have made it like
First Class was. You know what? Those three are probably. I forgot about those two.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the original X-Men movies and all that.
Yeah, one
even
was
even Wolverine, the first two Wolverines. I didn't like.
Ooh, yeah.
And like,
Yeah, and how do you botch Wolverine? But like I said, I never got like sour grapes from him. I was just like, it is what it is. But I could see X-Men, and it wasn't like terrible. Like it wasn't good. I'm not saying it was good.
but
by any
seriously,
stretch of
imagine if they were, and they will be, when it's done by Disney. It's going to be. And we just can't fathom it right now because we're so used to seeing Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Who knows who they're going to pick for Wolverine? I made a joke to somebody. I think we talked about it on the show about Daniel Radcliffe. Made a joke saying about being Wolverine.
There's been some fan art that people have created.
But who knows? But he could. Like we said, we never knew half these people were going to be who they are. And then now I can't imagine anybody being Star-Lord or anybody else being Captain America.
Yeah.
Xavier, he'd have to be
Xavier. Who John Luke? I like John Luke better.
Who's John?
Over McAvoy,
Sean Luke.
Like if I'm going to pick our Xaviers, like it's John.
Oh, Sean Luke.
Yeah.
McAvoy did an okay job for a younger.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
he was good. Don't get me wrong. How about the Magneto? That's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
That's a.
I like Fassbender better.
Dude, I would say so, but then.
I agree with John. Fassbender was better.
I don't know, man, because like I always think of the old Magneto from the comic books.
But he was
a little too regal.
Yeah, I was going to not regal, but I just felt like he was too broken down. In the comic books, it seemed like Magneto still seemed like
I had like a little bit on the upside.
Yes, he just didn't use it. All of the
Fassbender does play a better like kind of like that.
Yeah,
I like his justification.
I like Fassbender in general. He's good.
He's good. Really good. So, it's kind of like a tepid response to the trailer. And again, we adore these characters, right? So
this will be the most disappointing for me, I think, out of all of them. Just because of what...
Although
the fucking source material's there, dude. The source material.
I thought the Apocalypse was really... I was just really disappointed.
Well,
I remember watching the trailer with you when we first saw it, and we were all like, yeah, that looks awesome. Yeah.
I'm just saying from the comic standpoint, this seems like the most disappointing because of how huge it was or is, or you know what I mean. Like
and now,
they're gonna botch this motherfucker.
And now Disney might just not even play.
What was the last stand when they when
the last stand was the last time you saw Phoenix?
Yeah, and that was because. And
they ran out of money. They straight up, I think it was Brett Ratner who did that one, and he was straight up like, we had shortchanged on time and money.
It was so bad anyway. But like at the end of, I think it was X-Men 2, like when you saw like the outline, and you're like, ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then they go to the third, and you're just like,
yeah,
that's like a huge letdown.
And then the third one, like.
It was nothing.
Like he killed Scott.
I didn't feel anything for it. I was like, man, where are we going here?
And then Wolverine killed her
at the
end. It was just hokey.
Yeah. They got to, first of all, I would love it for them to go to the source material. I hope now that Marvel has the Skrull and the Kree, because the Kree was a big part of Lilandra, was Charles Xavier's love interest.
Who's Lilandra?
She's the queen of the Kree.
Is she Annette Bening?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
Annette Bening revealed on the late night show. She was she's like some super queen or something like that.
I don't know. That's a good question. I never looked up who her character was.
She just revealed it this week. So on Kimmel or something like that.
Yeah.
She's like holds all the knowledge of the Kree or something like that in her.
That's a good question, man. So Annette Bening, I was just looking her up real quick. She's a Kree. They just call her out as a Kree scientist, so that wouldn't be. But anyway, with Lilandra, she's the one that brings the X-Men and space.
Right.
They basically hold a trial of combat.
But Lilandra's dad was the Emperor, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he was like evil and shit.
Yeah. Well, there's all kinds of like intrigue and like. Political intrigue when it comes to that empire. Like, fuckers are backstabbing people left and right, kind of like Roman Empire type shit. And so if they can start to bring that in, then they can start to plant these seeds and go back to the source material.
Right.
And it's not like, wait, what? They're in outer space now? And now, because that's really what that comic was about. It was about this sort of trial that they put Dark Phoenix on. They put Jean Grey on.
Right. Well, that's where I was getting from the beginning. The Kree, I guess, the Lilandra, they used Jean Grey in the beginning. Not used, but the Phoenix helped them defeat some
Yeah, I forget about that. But she did. She gobbled up a whole planet, and that's why she got put on trial because she basically.
I thought it was a
shut down.
sun.
It
She
might have
destroyed
been.
a solar
It's
system.
been so
or something.
long, man.
She destroyed a solar system or something.
Yeah, I got to reread that for sure.
because she just heard the emotion in her. Just she became too powerful for anybody. So
Yeah, and that was her thing, man. Her thing was just hunger, like Galactus almost.
well, yeah, something
And,
like
yeah.
that.
So anyway, yes, mildly interested. We'll see how it goes.
I might get that. There, I saw a T-shirt the other day too on the internet of Galactus with like the planet spinning on his finger.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's a badass T-shirt.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Remember way back we talked about and said, if you had FU money, what would you wear?
I'd wear that.
Right?
I still think I might get that motherfucker, dude. That's a badass.
Go ahead,
shirt,
man. Let your geek flag fly.
I love it. But no, it's just the whole thing, just with the Kree and all that. I think that opens up the door to. It's almost like perfect timing. Maybe that's why Disney overspent for Fox.
Yeah.
Because it's almost perfect timing to launch into other avenues.
Oh my God. It's like it's like, oh my God, like I'm panning for gold, and I found this giant vein for the first run. And then it's like, what are the chances that we're going to hit another vein of gold? And it's like, well, now we hit platinum.
Just realize
if you want to
something.
if you want to call it something, it's makeup sex for Star Wars, dude.
Exactly.
Am I wrong?
I just realized something. Scarlet Witch is going to get her own TV show, right? Supposedly, yes.
Movie.
No, her own TV show.
I don't know if she.
Yes, it's
Oh,
her
really?
and Loki on the new Disney Plus. They're both greenlit for their shows.
Wow.
And so
that's cool.
I think if it's a hit, they could always bring in at some point a hint to her who her father is.
Oh, wait. So
Magneto's her father, right?
for Scarlet? No. Oh yeah. You're right. Scarlet Witch. I'm sorry. I'm thinking Scarlett Johansson,
Yeah.
Black Widow.
No. Black Widow's getting her own movie.
Got my
Yes.
Scarlets mixed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
that would be cool.
Yeah. So that would be just a hint towards
Dude,
it.
there's so much soap opera stuff that goes on in the Marvel universe, in comic books, that you sort of lose. You lose sight of the fact that if they did a beat for beat, you'd be like, "This is trash."
Yeah.
But they weave this into the stuff we love.
And that's why it's great. You know what I mean? And I'm really about the Captain Marvel thing. I'm really interested in finding out, A, what's the deal with Nick Fury when he's that age? And B, how did she become who she is? I know there's a lot of people online, because I can't wait for this Sunday, that are saying they're upset that it wasn't Marvel that's giving her the powers. I say, how do you know that's not the case? They just know she has amnesia from when she was younger.
Yeah. It could be a transfusion with Marvel.
Yeah.
Well, even if it's not, though, it's like they've pleased me.
Yeah, come on,
already.
man.
I'm sure they'll come up with something that I'll like.
Dude,
I'm confident. You know what I mean?
You're confident you're going to leave that movie theater and think,
Yeah, I'm pretty confident.
Say damn.
Dude, Marvel pulled off Ego, the Living Planet, with Guardians of the Galaxy with Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Which sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, and
and then you saw it and you're like, yeah, this is good, man. This is good.
It's believable.
It's believable. Exactly.
Yeah, it's decent.
There's a lot of trust there for sure. So last but certainly not least in the trailer vein, Game of Thrones.
I'm straight jizzing.
Straight teaser.
Oh, when I saw the two dragons flying over Winterfell with Sandra, standing there, and she's just like amazement.
Arya.
No, it was Sandra.
Oh, that's right. It was Sansa Stark.
Sansa Stark.
Right,
She was sitting on that. I'm like, oh my god! And she's just like, what the fuck? Like, had that look on her face, and then you see the two dragons with Jon Snow and Daenerys.
Yeah.
And you wonder what's going to happen, because there's probably clips, just not at the first episode in there. Like they show the kind of like at the end they see like when the Battle of Winterfell is supposed to be like the battle supposedly.
Well, I like how they showed.
Makes sense.
I liked how they showed when I was watching that trailer, Jamie Lannister, like saying like he's going to.
I'm just fighting for the living.
Yeah, I want to fight for the living, and then
he's like in scrubs though. He wasn't like in like his like. Lannister gear.
But then you see him on the ship. He's the one, you see his back turned to you.
I didn't see it.
So it's him on the ship that's with the Ironborn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's commanding. That's the armada that he's commanding for,
which is interesting
for Westeros.
And then they keep showing his sister just like
Cersei.
sitting there, just drinking like a cup.
Yeah.
like
Well, she's playing the odds on who's going to win it.
yeah. Well, that of
Yeah.
course.
Because if they win it, she's just going to save her army and then try to wipe them out afterwards.
She's
And
still-
now if the undead win, she's fucked either way.
That's
So
what I mean.
she's like,
She's
why would I want to
delusional.
help you fuckers out?
Yeah, I think that's what's going on. I think she thinks that there's still no threat when it comes to the White Walkers.
I think she thinks there's a threat, John. I just think it's more of like I said, she's like, if she helps them, she could help them win, but that would help her lose.
Yeah.
At least if she waits it out and sees if they win, they might be too beat up.
Yeah, it's come in and swoop in and just clean up,
Right.
and then you get the Seven Kingdoms.
Because
back.
she saw what everybody else saw, but she's like her father. She doesn't see, I'm not going to help somebody out. I'm looking for an opportunity.
Yeah, opportunist, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. It's out of all those trailers, man. I think hands down, I think we're all in agreement. That's the one that
That's the shit.
made my pants tight.
Yeah.
Dude, when he was talking to, what the fuck was talking to Sam? The three-eyed raven, Bran.
Yes, Bran. Yeah.
Was he really talking to Sam, or was he talking to Jon Snow that was in the room?
Oh, was he traveling?
No, I mean, because no, he wasn't traveling. But what I mean is, he was saying this brought you to this point.
Yeah, I think
He was talking to Jon, and Sam had just happened to be in the room, and they were looking at it through an angle of Sam.
that's a good point. And the way they cut up trailers these days, they don't want to give away.
Oh, fuck no, man. We
you
get
know,
a 30-second clip of fucking Endgame. It's a 3-hour fucking movie. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Well,
to that
and
thing.
the thing is, the 30-second clip might have footage in it that's not even in the movie.
Well,
Yeah.
the Hulk was in the fucking other footage running in the fucking forest, and he wasn't even in the fucking park.
That's true.
Yeah, little switcheroo. Hey, man, I'll take that. I'll take a little sleight of hand from the trailers just so I get a better experience.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, damn right.
The one thing that I thought out of watching the Game of Thrones trailer, though, it looked like there was a lot. Remember how in Endgame there was a lot of matchups that you never saw before?
Yes.
It looked like there were a handful of similarly,
Yeah.
there were matchups, like I put it
Jamie
down on the
Lannister with the Ironborn. something
Yeah,
like that.
Jamie
I
Lannister.
think because he
Ironborn.
conquered the Ironborn, if I remember correctly, because he fought him at the one of the battles that helped subdue them.
That was Highgarden.
Yeah, no, this
it?
was before. It
Oh,
wasn't.
yeah.
He,
You're right.
he always talks about it, and I remember when he was talking to
Greyjoy didn't show up.
No, he was talking to one of the Ironborn, and he said, "I just remember watching you come in and fighting through everybody."
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't like Jamie.
Oh, everybody hates him.
Hates fucking Jamie.
Yeah.
I personally
Except
like the
Brianna
character
Toth.
now. I hated him in the first season, but as the season went on, man, I
Yeah,
was like,
Jamie's
God,
a real dick.
Yeah. He pushed fucking a
was
child
talking
out a
about-
window.
yeah, you missed the joke there.
He's a real dick.
No, he's talking about himself.
Jamie's a real dick.
Sorry, man. I'm a little slow today.
Because you're old. You're getting there. You're losing your mind.
I got to take my ginkgo biloba.
No, but there's a lot to dive in there, and you wonder what happens when John and fucking what's her face find out John's true heritage.
Yeah.
What the fuck's gonna happen?
Do they go, ew?
Or do they go,
Where
yeah?
they go? Let's fuck again.
Well, incest runs in our family.
Yeah. Friggin' Jamie's like, good on you, mate.
Yeah, damn right, dude. Why not? Fuck it.
Nah, but everything, it looks, they had the one, I love that they're including all these characters and sort of, still have threads of who they were,
Yeah.
of course, but now, of course, it's who they are now.
They've grown, yeah.
Yeah, like they show the one kid who was in Westeros, or not Westeros, in he was the Ironsmith.
Oh, yeah.
And then they showed him forging.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I did notice that.
The black glass, or
Yeah, yep.
it's black glass, right?
Yeah, no, it's Dragon
Dragon
Glass. Come on, man. You got to do a little catch up on the game,
Oh,
dude.
Dude, my brain is slow today. But yeah, it started.
That just got released today, too, that trailer.
Yeah.
It was like, I guess the one day holdout was actually worth it.
That was a big.
Yeah,
that was some
time
big
is
news
everything.
today too.
So thank you, Jamie. But the end, of course, of the trailer, it looks like there is Jorah Mormont and Brianna Toth that they're left first line of defense.
Yes.
Nope.
And
That's
then
pretty
you
cool.
see, of course, you see the bony hoof
Of,
the White Walkers.
Which is interesting. I like how they did that.
dude,
Yeah.
it just gets you hyped up, man.
No pun intended. I got you.
I really wonder.
They didn't even break out the big guns on that. They didn't break out like the fucking zombie dragon. The White Walker dragon.
Or the king.
Yeah.
What the fuck is his name?
The White King?
The White Walker King. What the fuck is his name? I can't think now. Now you got me going, John.
It's contagious, man.
Shit. Yeah, but it's just there's so much meat on that bone. Like I think every episode's going to be around an hour and a half. I think the first episode's like 2 hours, then every other episode's like an hour and a half, and then the last episode might be 2 hours too.
Dude, we're going to get a movie every week.
Oh, I love it.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking love it, dude.
Yeah, that's really cool. Okay, so we're all stoked about the trailer. So, and I told you about Marvel's is planning X-Men versus that's a rumor mill. X-Men versus Avengers. What are you guys watching? Anything? Well, I know you're watching. You just got done Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, that's pretty much been it. You know, I haven't really got into. I got yelled at for watching that because you binged it in 2 days. I'm like, well, I was sitting on my fucking couch because I had a vasectomy for you.
Can you
Straight no jizzing.
Can you appreciate where Jamie is? You know, he finds these little pockets of time at like 12 o'clock at night till 2 in the morning.
I don't know how he does that.
It's not easy.
I think you just have
Impressive, really.
I think you have some genetic something. You're like a mutation there where you don't need sleep.
Yeah, but then no,
I can't do that.
That's
need
not
sleep.
true because like I go on like I've been on like runs. Or I'll go to bed like fucking early. When I get the kids to bed, I go fucking right to bed.
Yeah,
But then you go on runs where you're up for 24 hours.
and then
I
so-
could never do that.
I think I know what's going on. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jamie. When you put the kids to bed,
I'll fall asleep with them.
exactly.
Yeah,
You get a little cat nap. You wake up and maybe have a spike. I
like
used to do the same thing.
I'll lay with them. I'll swing through my phone a little bit while I'm laying there. Then I pass out.
Dude, Jack was tough to my oldest, right? He's tough
Yeah.
to put down, really tough. And so I used to lay down with him, and I think I mentioned this before in the podcast, but I used to lay down with him, and this tricky little kid, I'm talking about like 2, he'd reach up and he'd just softly pet the side of my head, and I'd go out.
Yeah.
It was like
He puts you to
he
bed.
put me right to sleep.
You're trying to put him to bed. He puts you to bed.
Exactly. And then Cindy would wait, I'd feel Cindy tugging on my toe, and he'd be like, oh.
Do you know Jack's crawling over there by the steps?
Exactly.
What?
Jack came down. He's watching cartoons. So I caught up on some of the stuff that we mentioned in previous podcasts. Mortal Engines. Remember there's the Peter Jackson movie?
You said it was shit, right?
Ugh. I didn't finish it.
Garbage.
It was so bad. The director...
You had to call it.
The director of my favorite movie of all time, Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
Put together what a pile of shit this movie was. It was terrible.
I heard the comic book's good.
Is it?
Well, that's what they said on the news or something like that.
I couldn't believe. I actually got to a point where I was like, when you go at the end and you say, I'm never going to get that fucking time back. I was like, I'm going to get some time back. And I probably only had like 40 minutes left of the movie, but I was like, nope, you're done.
Yeah, couldn't even do it.
Terrible movie. Terrible.
At least you turned it off, man. There's some movies you watch and you're like, it's got to get better. Got to get better.
That was
Then you get
Planets,
to the end
right?
and you're like, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, man. I watched that stupid thing on Netflix with, I told you guys, Bright was good, with the guy from, played Hawk. From,
with Eric Bana.
Yeah. Played it was like the end of the world thing. It was so
Io?
fucking,
Yeah.
so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
I pushed through because I'm thinking Netflix made this. It's a cool concept. And me saying nothing, that's what it was.
Well, like Bird Box, I was like, I was glad I watched it, but I was disappointed at the end. I was
But see, you're glad you watched it. This
I was glad
not
I watched it, but I was just like, you motherfucker.
I got-
like what the fuck?
Jamie, you can understand from my point of view.
Yeah, no, I'm
you
with
got
you.
so much time to
Dude,
use,
I'm with you.
and you want to use it wisely. Like the
Yeah.
Umbrella Academy, I felt was wisely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was not wise.
Yeah.
He
Time is money.
poorly.
Chose poorly. Yes, that's where I was going with that. That's funny.
A Cup of a Carpenter.
Yes.
The other one that I watched was Fantastic Beasts: Crimes of Grindelwald.
I want to see that. How was it?
It was decent. But the end was
Let down.
It was.
It was a
what
setup.
the fuck? It just ended.
It just set up, didn't it?
Yeah, it was. I wish they would do that. Just say, "Oh, by the way, this is going to be part of the series," and they probably did with this. But Johnny Depp is fun to watch on screen. I mean, there's something very charismatic about him, and the way
He's crazy. That's what he is.
Well, most of them are. I mean, think about that profession. You got to be a little crazy.
I guess.
But yeah, he's on screen. But they have a big battle. It's very much the same beats as like a Harry Potter, but just not ultimately like spiking the
Story's
ball,
not there.
satisfying.
Yeah.
That you're like, oh man, I can't wait for the next one.
Well, that's why I'm telling you. I think they did it all wrong. They should have done it from a viewpoint of Dumbledore.
100%, man.
You know,
hit
or
that right on the
or
head.
done it from the viewpoint of Grimwald from the beginning, from their growing up and being friends
Yes.
and all that. Why are you going to introduce this Fantastic Beast part? Nobody gives a fuck about that.
Yeah.
It's cool
They're
little
the meat and
tidbit.
potatoes.
Yes.
Know what he is? You know what that character is? He's the part of the ensemble cast.
Yes.
Like, you know how you have like the Justice League, right? And there's Superman, who's strong and fast and all that. You got Batman, who's the detective. You got Wonder Woman, who's the Amazon. And they all come with their own set of gifts.
Yeah.
Right? That's the way I feel about this main character in Crimes of Grindelwald or in the Fantastic Beasts. Like, that's his shtick when they go into battle. He's the one with the creatures.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Which is fine.
And that's it.
Yeah.
He's like what's
not
the,
a franchise.
Yeah, what's the kid's name that was with the fucking plants in Harry Potter? He was like, go with the plants.
Yeah.
Like he's like him.
Exactly.
Except you made a movie out of him. And who gives a fuck?
yeah. We want to see.
Right?
And the actor is
He's a good actor.
Redbane, I think
He's
his
a
name.
good actor.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And
But-
there's all good performances.
But the whole thing is they went from the wrong point of view.
Agreed.
I mean, people loved Harry Potter for two reasons. They had started out kid book. Magic is cool. But then they started to really love it because you had this possibility of a chosen one. He's supposed to have unique powers. And then, he's getting taught by one of the greatest wizards of all time. And it just built up this dark, evil entity that he had to fight against. That's interesting. That's
Yeah.
intriguing. Now you're starting off with this guy with creatures.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dude.
it's not appealing to me.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Dude, and the Harry Potter fans are ravenous, man. They are hardcore. They're our generation's. Our generation was Star Wars, right? That generation went deep on Harry Potter. Like, if you talk to somebody between like 26 and 32, 33, the people that do the grooming that take care of our dogs, the two women that work there are legit. Like, you even whisper something about Harry Potter in that direction, and we had a friend of ours over last night, same demographic, instant light up, man. Just light the fuck up and be like, oh my God. And then, like, we were talking about, I had a coworker who, when we went to, it was an offsite, it was a big thing.
Yeah, you
for-
talk the Universal Studios.
yeah, when we went in there, she was vibrating like she was so stoked about it. And so service that audience.
And I was too. I mean, I wasn't to that level, but I was close. And I mean, when Harry Potter episode 8 came out, Deathly Hallows #2, I was there at 12:01. That's when they were doing 12:01 movies on Thursday nights.
Oh yeah, that's right.
To beat. I did that, and you saw all these people in Harry Potter outfits. So, well, I wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
but they were
Did
there.
you pencil in a little lightning bolt?
I did. But I was stoked about the Fantastic Beasts because I thought it was just I thought that was just a name. I didn't know they were really basing it around this goofy character. And that's what he is.
Yeah.
He should be the sidekick,
Yeah.
But
not the main.
But they dance around it.
Yeah, they do.
They dance around the meat and potatoes. They don't give you the fucking meat and potatoes.
The meat and
And that's
potatoes.
what I want.
The
All
meat and
potatoes, no meat.
The meat and potatoes was Dumbledore. That's how they should have went by this, whether it was going through Grindelwald to show it
couldn't
or
agree with you more.
going through
Yeah,
Dumbledore.
Go through his adventures, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
do something.
Yeah.
I would have done Grindelwald would have been a better idea because you're going through the perspective of the bad guy.
Start with Grindelwald.
Yeah.
But only from the perspective of Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would have been cool.
Yeah. But, you know, they haven't
they
knocked
did.
on my door yet to say, hey, man, Hollywood's in trouble, John. Take you and your buddies, come out to L.A. and fix this shit.
Dude.
Nobody's done that yet.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Well, it's not like it seems like they just keep drawing from this fucking well.
It's like we said this before. It's like people complaining about the price of tickets at a ball game and complaining about, $40 for parking. If you stop fucking paying for it, it won't happen anymore.
No, and you're right. And you're totally right. But, people look for entertainment, so they'll do whatever. And then if it's okay, they'll just deal with it. And that's the problem. Then we got what we got.
True.
But then,
5 Transformer movies.
5 Transformer movies. But then, once in a while, a Feige fucking rises. He rises. But then we get stuck with, unfortunately, that fucking D-bag that did Star Wars. And that's what really sucks and what's like a real bite. Because, like I said, I would have rather not had that at all.
Yeah.
Than do what you did.
I know. It really almost ruins it.
But shit like that. They need to come up with some. If you're gonna do some I'm hoping to God that when they do this new Ghostbusters that justice is served.
Yeah, me too.
I'm okay because I like the
Ghostbusters
concept.
1, not 2.
Wait, can Kevin Feige do Ghostbusters 2?
Can he just do all my favorite shit? Just bring them in.
Ghostbusters
Fuck
2. I don't care about. No, I'm saying like that.
He's executive producer of everything.
the new Ghostbusters, that last one. Come on, man. Better stories. Stories.
Writers should be king, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
If you suck, you're out.
Absolutely. So, what do you guys? I just want to shift gears. I know we're getting a little long on time. What else are you guys watching? Anything special? Anything interesting?
Not really, dude.
You want to move on to fun facts?
Go for it.
I love fun facts.
All right. So it's just superhero movies and the Oscars. I know we talked about the Oscars in the last episode. Did the Stanleys?
But that's the first time they won one, right?
So there were more. So Dark Knight won one for Best Actor.
Oh, yeah. Best
Heath
Supporting
Ledger.
Actor. Yeah, he did.
Right? And then best. A lot of them are these peripherals, right? It seems like.
Do you think he would have won though if he died?
Yeah, I
didn't-
think he would have deserved one?
No,
Yes.
I think he would have deserved one.
You mean if he didn't die?
And if he didn't die,
That's a great point.
No doubt in my mind did that motherfucker deserve that award.
Probably.
No doubt.
I don't even know who else was running that year.
No, that's what I'm saying. And case in point from last episode. Do you think he would have won that if he didn't die?
He should. Yes, I do.
I think he would have deserved it. I don't think he
would have won it. I think some pretentious asshole would have fucking won that. Some bullshit ass Hollywood stupid fucking movie that we wouldn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. I'd bet the farm on that shit.
So, yeah. So, I don't think he would have won it either. So, anyway.
But he should have. And he did.
It's a great point. Incredibles won Best Animated Feature. Oh, and Dark Knight, along with Heath Ledger, they got Best Achievement in Sound Editing. That movie was epic, man.
Fuck, that movie was good. That movie was good all the way around.
And you know what? I told you
that in Chicago.
I told you it had to be in Chicago.
And name another movie that year, though.
What?
Name another movie that would have gone up against.
I think the third one was going to be even better, but because Heath Ledger was supposed to be in it as the Joker, but he died, so they had to
I agree with you, man.
They had to redo it. They had to redo the whole thing. No, I think Bane was supposed to be in it.
Was he?
But I think because they had Scarecrow in it at that point when they released Arkham. Mm-hmm. I think he was supposed to be I did read an article. He was supposed to be in it. He was supposed to be released and supposed to be the guy. It was supposed to be like a 1, 2, 3 punch.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
So, yeah, because he didn't die at the end.
No, he got put in Arkham.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That would have been awesome.
So, Best Supporting Actor, his competition that year was Josh Brolin in Milk.
Didn't see it.
It was actually okay. It was a good movie.
Yeah, it was a decent movie for sure. Michael Shannon, Revolutionary Road.
Whatever the fuck that
I saw that. No, it sucked.
Philip Seymour Hoffman, Doubt, as Father Brendan Flynn.
Who the fuck is that?
I don't even
And Robert Downey Jr. for Tropic Thunder.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I did love him in that, though.
It was fantastic.
hilarious.
Not as good as
He's an
That's
Australian
hilarious.
going method to be a black guy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know who should have got nominated? Tom fucking
Cruise.
That was I didn't even know that motherfucker was in the movie
That
until
was
somebody
fantastic.
pointed that out to me and like, that's Tom Cruise. I'm like, no, it's not.
That was fantastic.
No, it's not.
He played the super agent. Yeah, so going down this list, Incredibles won Best Animated Feature, Best Achievement in Sound Editing. Superman, the original Superman, get this, won Best Special Achievement. So that's basically special effects.
Okay.
But, dude, that movie...
I watched it. I still watch
That movie
it.
holds up.
I don't know how they
The
made him
effects
fly.
are sucky.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
For today's effects,
Yeah.
but back then, man, that was
it was
like
revolutionary.
fucking
That was
shit.
good.
Yeah, I agree.
The story, and again, back to our point, the story was fucking good.
Yeah,
and
it was.
it rolled right into the second one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fact.
So is an interesting fact, not a fact, but an observation. I forget who I was watching it. They pointed this out. Oh, it was John Byrne. John Byrne was the artist and writer for Superman run back in the 90s. And he said, watching Superman, the original movie with Christopher Reeves, he said that there was a choice that Christopher Reeves made when he went from Clark Kent to Superman. When he's Clark Kent, now Christopher Reeves 6'2", fit as fuck in that movie. He takes off his glasses and then he stops slouching.
Yeah.
And he goes up like
Interesting.
another 3 or
He plays
3 or
a
4
part.
inches.
He plays a part as Clark Kent.
Yeah.
He's not.
Clark Kent. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like this little subtle thing. And I didn't even know it until I saw this interview with John Byrne. And then they actually clipped in the footage. And I was like, fuck, man, that was cool. And all he does is take off the glasses, switch his part, and stand up straight.
Because you're always like, fucking, how do people not know? You know what I mean? It's like
hiding in plain sight type of thing.
But it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought that was a clever
the
observation.
greatest actor of all time, Superman.
Why not? Spider-Man 2 won Best Achievement in Visual Effects. Batman, the original Batman, won Best Art Direction. That was
Tim Burton. That was a fucking good movie.
Yeah, but they're always going to win those type of
This
awards.
is where I'm going, man.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about Best Picture, Best Director.
That's what they should win, though.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Because you remember these movies. Name a movie that came out when that first Batman came out.
I don't know.
Put something up. I bet you if you looked it up, you wouldn't know it and or give a flying fuck.
Tango
Whatever.
and Cash.
I
No,
doubt it.
Fried Green
That was
Tomatoes, man.
89. Wasn't it 89 that came out?
That's when Burton came out. The Batman came out in 89.
No, but
I
Tango
thought it
and
was
Cash.
80. Is it 89?
Did Tango and Cash come out at 89?
Oh, you know what? I
thought it came out earlier than that. But anyway,
I'm nervous.
but anyway,
I'm not even going there.
no, but what I doubt Tango and Cash went up against that anyway. But I'm just saying, like in general, what do you think? Who the fuck knows? That's my point.
Overboard?
That's fine. But they should win
Yeah.
because people care.
Hell, they
about
should at least be fucking nominated.
Even back
They're not
then.
even being nominated.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
It's
seems like this
embarrassing.
is a great year, though. This is where I'm going. This is a great year, right? Because we're inching closer to this sort of all these award shows. Let's just call them what they are. They're marketing for driving further revenue.
They're
right?
dying, is what they are.
Well, can I
True.
say something? I don't want to cut you off,
Yeah.
but it's like watching the trailer for Endgame. You see, like even in Infinity War, you see Robert Downey Jr.'s pain because he feels like he created most of this because of what happened in New York and etc. He's
Sure.
been building up to this. That's still fucking acting, man. Whether it's special effects added in,
Nick,
it's still great acting.
How did you
I agree.
feel? How did you feel when you watched that trailer?
Well, Endgame, it was fucking awesome, man.
How'd you feel inside?
Yeah.
Dude,
Okay,
I got
felt
one better
dark.
for you.
Did you feel that like when Revolutionary Road or whatever the fuck that was popped on the screen for a trailer? No, I went to another channel.
Acting.
That's my point.
When it first started, hundreds of years ago, acting's supposed to make you feel something about something.
Of course.
These other movies, I don't feel shit for. It's like, all right.
Exactly.
I got one. How did you feel when Spider-Man died in Endgame?
Oh, I was devastated.
Right? It was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Mr. Stark, I don't want, you're like, no, not Spider-Man. And
Yeah.
like, I'm getting choked up thinking about it.
Or like Logan, for instance. Perfect
Oh, wow,
example.
yeah.
Man, the acting for both those two, Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman, was fucking phenomenal. And
Yeah.
they didn't even get a blip.
No.
Because they play a superhero character.
Yeah.
It's fucking
That's
bullshit.
what I mean. And how do you feel when you watch it? You feel good. You feel like you've accomplished something. But when you watch something for those other things, it's like, I'm not even going to remember
I want
you
to see Robert,
in a week, a day.
I want to see Robert Downey Jr. I want to see Robert De Niro fucking acting a superhero. I want to see him do that shit and pull off it. You know what I mean? These big Tom fucking... Not Tom
Well,
Cruise.
they're getting big actors for these shows.
They're getting big actors, but I'm talking about the ones that always win the fucking awards.
Yeah.
Well, you had Glenn Close that was in Guardians.
But she's won what? One?
You're getting Robert Redford was in.
He was. And he did a great job acting too, but that's what I'm talking about.
You're right.
Because it's a superhero comic book movie, they're not giving its due for acting. I
agree.
First of all, you have to act behind a fucking green screen. Mm-hmm. That's a lot more complicated than acting, from what everybody says in interviews, is harder to act behind a green screen than it is face-to-face with somebody.
Yeah.
Because you're reading off them.
Yeah.
Well, you could literally be reading off him like Brando.
Yeah.
Considered the greatest actor of all time.
No, I agree, but I think my point is that it's going in the right direction.
You hope so. You would like to hope so. See some of these guys get their due.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's still at the end of the day, it's still acting, so it's not heartfelt.
Yeah,
fucking does every movie that has to win a Best Actor award have to be heartfelt?
No, or have some type of social message.
Yeah. How about it's just a fun fucking movie and they did a great job acting in it?
Yeah, no, I agree, man. And here's the thing, though. I hope what happens is they start to evolve the genre and do what they did with Logan. Do what they're suggesting they're doing with the New Mutants out. It's almost like a horror slant to it.
I heard it sucks, though.
But
I know what you mean. Play with it a little bit to make it more emotional.
Just like different palette. That's all.
But then that's where you're getting into rated R, because with like anything else, if you're going to go that deep, you're going to go rated R. And until Logan and Deadpool came out, every superhero producer was afraid to touch that.
Yeah.
But now we're all old enough where we want a fucking rated R, because we're the ones who grew up on that shit.
Yeah, Spawn was awesome. I wonder what's going on with that.
I don't know. I haven't heard much.
All
right. So let's wrap it up. Oh, one last thing. Pete Davidson, Kate Beckinsale. Did you see the news?
I saw that, dude.
Dude, he's the man, dude.
He just fucking banged Ariana Grande.
He's a cocksmith, dude.
He must be hanging,
What
dude.
a player.
Because he is
a cocksmith.
He is not a good looking dude.
No, he looks like he should be made of stone and hanging off the edge of a building.
He's funny. He's funny, though, dude. He's playing.
No, he's
hysterical.
Funny. But she's like, he goes from the hottest little girl in the world to one of the hottest older women in the world.
He is punching
he's like,
out of his weight class and destroying.
Yes.
Good for him. Good for you, Pete Davidson.
He's legit and straight jizzing.
Literally.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us for this week's episode of Nick, Jon, and Jamie Show. Please be sure to subscribe to our show on iTunes and Google Play and Stitcher and Spotify. And we're also on the YouTubes. We're still getting the studio set up, but that's okay. And you can also follow us on the social medias, too. We're on Twitter and Instagram. Just search for the NJJ Show. Thanks again, everybody, and have an awesome week.